got a connection with...
He should be given something for predicting it, right? Because I think it helps motivate the team in general.
I mean, you have that goal and you're racing towards it. Nobody has been able to truly test Atlanta Academy and take that single map off of this squad. So Funny Astro gonna be speeding his team towards Nepal Sanctum here as Bermuda with Ultima Web on one of his favorite heroes, the Pharah, taken to the air. It's Capo this time around actually on the Sombra, something that we don't see very often with this Bermuda lineup.
Yeah, we don't really see Capo very often in general, so Bermuda with Ultima Web in the sky, that's been very good for them in the past. Saucy already got an initial pick. He's getting pretty low though, and you kind of want his EMP to be just a tad bit higher in this moment in time. The Skybox has taken a lot higher than you might expect as well, so Farah can easily be run here. Gator, though, so lucky he already had the momentum going on to the objective because he's going to be able to get back to his team and survive. And Hawk, though, going to get Pizza Demon. Atlanta Academy maintain their advantage here. It's just it's like they move quicker, right? Just the characters just are moving faster when Atlanta's playing them. It's crazy.
For whatever reason, as Carter, gets chased down, zips across the space, only get boinked by Sugar Free, who is on this Brigida, Kodak, of course, on the Moira, as we've grown used to over this season. Bermuda now going to have a difficult time pushing in with this Orisa. Orisa's always having an easier time holding the point rather than smashing her face into a dive. And Gator, man,
Too legit to quit, my friend. Too legit to quit. And Gator dances.
Hello. Cheeky wave. I like the cheeky wave.
Well, I think it helps him see around the corner. It just looks funny, right? So Bermuda.
I mean, he could have just sat. That's the other option.
But he's going to go ahead and use one of the best emotes in the game. And I kind of wish more people picked up this attitude, to be completely honest with you. It's just that they play so constantly that I think it intimidates other teams. And when another team is kind of playing with their food like that, so you have to believe that you can beat Atlanta, and Atlanta doesn't let you do that. They take all the hope and dreams away from you and crush them just like my mother did 15 years ago.
What? Your mom too? No way. I mean, maybe that's why we're both in esports. Anyhow, we are going to see the Battle Bongo come out now. Ultima Web going to look to line up that barrage, but they might not need it.
Oh, Atlanta Academy, though, already losing members. They needed to invest that ultimate in there, especially with the Rocket Barrage with the Supercharger. Those rockets are going to hit much harder. Atlanta Academy are going to have to try once more, but they're in a good position here. Conceding the point at about 80% means that they only need one more fight to retake it, and Bermuda needs to win every other fight from here on out, and that's going to be a tough task against Atlanta Academy. Very
tough task, but that pulse bomb, Kodak walks right into it. Hey, a W is a W, man. A happy little accident. Bob Ross.
Right? Carter has popped off in the past. Another streaky player here in Contenders. One of the big things that I think a lot of these players need to find in order to graduate is consistency. It's okay to pop off for 15 seconds to 30 seconds, right? But if you're able to maintain that for much longer, you're more likely going to get picked up. And Carter has shown that that's getting better and better throughout the season so far. As Gator going to jump off to the objective, and just look how surgical that was. Everyone on the same exact page on Atlanta Academy. Poor Chain's going to get bullied as well. This should be a flip for Atlanta Academy and a round win. See how hard Bermuda's going to fight for this point.
It needs to be pretty hard if they're going to do anything as Gator. Just taking a bit of time. You got to stay warm in between these fights. But every single time he lands, that is a very, very deadly Tushy right there. The way that Atlanta Academy plays is so explosive. Pizza Demon didn't have a chance, man. He was wrong place, wrong time. Atlanta Academy let him feel it.
Gets hacked, dances on the point. That is some of the most beautiful BM I have seen in a competitive game in a very long time, and I hate the fact that I kind of liked it. I want better, you want sportsmanship in a game, right? But in my opinion, it's a way to get into your opponent's head. I think it's part of the game, right?
It definitely is. I mean, I nominate the strategic shuffle as the new tactical crouch. It's a thing for the strategic shuffle. It really is. It's that feeling. I imagine that this is how people felt when they first went up against GOATs. GOATs, like the open division team GOATs, who patented that triple tank, triple DPS, triple tank, triple support composition. It's like, whatever I throw at them, it doesn't seem to do anything.
Well, and then teams get more emotional as they get angry, right? And then you start making different decisions that you normally wouldn't make, because not only are you getting BM'd, you want to return the favor eventually. and that sometimes can cause you to make choices that you normally wouldn't make. Bermuda, with Ultimate Web in the sky, again has found a lot of success with this Pharah in the past, but unfortunately, it's always been Ultimate Web or Carter popping off, not really both going at the same time. All of the weight on Ultimate, or all of the weight on Carter. We actually saw that a little earlier on Sanctum. Is Carter going to find that pick? But Saucy gets one as well. Carter finds two, so Bermuda have a two-man advantage. This should be a flip away from Atlanta Academy, who were able to take the point in the initial portion of this fight, but Bermuda should be taking it right back.
They got to clean up these 3 tanks, though, and they're tanky for a reason. So much HP to cut through. Carter and Ultima Web really have their work cut out for them. Capo, though, very close to this EMP, and something really interesting as 222 roll lock becomes reality, not just here in Contenders, but in OWL and in your casual games, is that choice, whether to pick a Sombra or another damage dealer. Sombra not known for her heavy DPS, a lot usually there, you know, for the hacks, usually there for the utility of the EMP, and when 222 becomes a reality, that's going to have to be a choice that teams make, whether to go for that EMP if that outweighs the damage that you're going to find from Sage Tracer. As it stands, Bermuda gonna try and go for the barrage, but it's nothing. It's as if just little raindrops tickling the faces of Atlanta Academy, as Gator now on this Winston looking to take this point right back.
That was a 6-man EMP that did not result in any kills for Bermuda. And during the fight, Atlanta Academy flipped the point, so things are going right for them so far. Saucy finds another pick. It should push Bermuda off. Again, Carter can't do everything, right? Ultimate Web needs to find some value in the sky so Carter can find even more value on the ground.
I feel like this is just to dance now. He's not even close to that corner, man. Bermuda do need to get their DPS running a bit hotter here. No ultimates to look forward to so far. Chain hacked as well, so no Primal Rage to buy a bit of space here. And hopefully he doesn't go down, manages to get that ultimate off in time.
Gator getting pressured away. Chain going to go ahead and use those discs, and the Primal Rage has been unleashed. He's not being very angry as the EMP comes through this time around from Atlanta Academy, taking the bird out of the sky. And how Bears react to this has been very interesting, because you can't fly during the EMP, but he's able to find some safety. Rocket Barrage from right above. Good stuff coming in from Hawk. That's not Ultimate Web killing himself. That's the D.Va getting close enough for the Rocket Barrage to do damage to himself.
Yeah, it did seem like maybe it was an exercise in frustration, though. Everybody from Bermuda had already been taken down largely, and Ultimate Web just decided to throw out the barrage, see what he gets, but I think it was a bit of a bungled opportunity. Capo's very close to that EMP. It's difficult, but Bermuda have a shot to retake this.
Ooh, nice pick, though, coming in from Bermuda 2 for the Dragon Strike. Atlanta Academy now going to be missing some members, but they are going to get this pick back. Hawk's so good at finding weak members and taking them down. He's definitely a bird of prey. Self-destruct should be zoning Carter out, putting him in a corner. Oh, good stuff from Hawk. That's actually super big brain in that situation, because what is he going to do? He has to go towards the objective, as the shuffle is going to cause a nap, and Atlanta Academy take this in one of the most BM games I've seen in recent memory. That was ridiculous coming in from Atlanta Academy, who continued their golden season. They are only 7 maps away from completing it, but now this is where I think Bermuda has the best chance at taking a map away. It is on Assault.
Bermuda love to play their Assault games. They got all kinds of wacky comps. In particular, Clockwork seems to work very well for them. Atlanta Academy just really giving their enemies no quarter here. And while, you know, not necessarily showing a ton of respect, playing their absolute best game. And Bermuda trying to go for that triple DPS look, but your DPS must be producing in order for that to work out. You can't always just accident yourself into those pulse bomb kills. Barrages need to be finding kills. Pulse bombs need to be landing. EMPs need to find that follow through. And unfortunately, not really any of those 3 things were happening for Bermuda all throughout Control.
How do you like Capo so far? He is someone who is a little bit of a blast from the past, played for a team named the Savages and Bye-Week back in the day, both classic names in the Overwatch community, both at times making a tad bit of noise, but unable to get a foothold in general in the Contenders / Overwatch scene. It was a long time ago. Capo playing with a lot of familiar names like Ace of Spades, playing with Jade, Kaliud as well. So he's very well known in the community, but this time around he's going to be playing DPS for Bermuda, and that's really awesome for them because Capo played Flex Tank on bye week, and that's kind of what you want your Sombra to be able to flex on, that Flex Tank.
Exactly. I was going to say another great look for Bermuda. I wonder what would have happened if they had Guru in the control lineup. At least you have the option for a grab, even though Atlanta Academy weren't running their own Zarya. But Capo can flex over to that off-tank role. We just saw him stick to the Sombra throughout. So Bermuda right now trying to see if their DPS can just out-damage Atlanta Academy's tanks, but that has not really been the story so far. Chain having a hard time really hanging against the tankiness of Atlanta Academy on those points as just the lone Winston. So sad, no friends.
There's a Winston on the other side doing a lot of dancing, though, so feeling pretty good about himself. That's going to be Gator on the monkey with his teammate Hawk.
Exactly. A little while ago, they also had another one called Bird, a real zoo.
They were the old McDonald's farm, Atlanta Academy.
The Overwatch menagerie.
Yeah, exactly. And so here we are on Paris. I'm wondering if we're going to get the slow, methodical Orisa versus Orisa or a little bit more up-tempo. Atlanta tends to run Moira here. I almost expect it. Let's see if it's going to happen.
Oh, look at that. Atlanta Academy does flex. Kodak showing Baptiste in spawn. We're probably going to see the Moira. Bermuda, though, is not actually going to be running the Clockwork composition, at least for now. They have Guru on the Mei. One part of the Clockwork composition, but otherwise, all DPS all day long. So this is a type of triple DPS look. Chain again on that solo Orisa. Likely to be easily overwhelmed by Atlanta Academy's goats. You just get right on top of that four-legged metal horse. Don't give her any space, no quarter, and she doesn't function very well at melee range.
Bermuda going to be running Guru this time around. I like it when Bermuda has Guru in the lineup. They seem to play more confidently when he's in, and I believe their map win-loss is better with Guru in the lineup as well. Maybe coming in for an assault specialist because of his hero pool as Carter. Going to be on the Sombra this time around. Capo getting switched out for Guru.
Saucy playing the Sombra for Atlanta Academy, just going for the slow scope, takes a concussion mine right to the face. Doesn't slow her down at all, though. Sombra going to be scoping. Not too worried at all, even with Pizza Demon attempting to spy check and take her out of stealth, as Atlanta Academy are just going to be looking to get in place for this dive.
You might be thinking why he's not doing anything right now. This is why he was waiting for the go from Gator on Atlanta Academy, and just the information is enough as well. You don't necessarily need to be pushing in a ton of damage as Sombra if you're also providing positioning of your opponents as well.
A surgical strike, always more effective than the spray and pray, which is the HamTornado style. As the whole team just taking a bit of a dance break. Bermuda, though, getting absolutely demolished. The Atlanta Academy is the definition of the surgical strike. So much patience. They know exactly where they're needed, when they're needed. Hawk takes down the Mercy, and in the exact same moment, Saucy comes in with the hack and destroy onto the Pharah.
Gator gonna get a little bit of oomph from Kodak's Coalescence. Victory also gave him the armor pack, so he's feeling pretty good, and they can't even do damage to him. The EMP is going to come too late. Kodak has been so good at avoiding the EMPs even while he's coalescing, and they're going to go ahead and aggressive upon Chase. Saucy going to take Ultimate Web out of the air. Bermuda unable to do absolutely anything here on Paris so far. Again, this is Bermuda's best map type and one of their best maps in general, and Atlanta Academy would make you think that that is not true because they are stomping Bermuda right now here on Paris. They don't want to give them any hope, like we said before, as Carter now switching over to the Bastion. Surprise Bastion is very effective. The EMP also another very effective ultimate as Bermuda now 2 members hack. Self-destruct comes out. Chain and Guru go down. Bermuda should not last much longer as Atlanta Academy will be taking the first point in Paris and the second with 5.5 minutes remaining in the time bank. I see the grimace on your face, HamTornado. What does it mean?
I'm just exercise. This making faces is really my only exercise. But Bermuda, really unfortunate. A lot of times you would see the team come in, maybe an eco push, maybe just scope things out. Oh no, we lost a member. We gotta go for the reset. No, Atlanta Academy only knows push, aggress, move forward, and they didn't give Bermuda a second to breathe. Immediately, Gator leaps upon both Chain and Guru. Maywall comes up, doesn't matter, I'm a Winston. The rest of my team also, by the way, has my back. Spraying, healing everywhere. You can't Matrix a Tesla cannon. You can't wall off that Tesla cannon. What are you going to do? Die.
Sometimes it's the only option when you're going up against a team like Atlanta Academy. Bermuda now need to make something happen. That was pretty brutal. It's now time to recover. This is a new round, right? New things can happen here. You have been falling victim to the strategic shuffle of Atlanta Academy. Gator breaking it down. It's like, so you think you can dance? One of the coolest things I ever seen was when I was working at Carbon, what we would do is on Hollywood, you know, there's that green screen section. So you can actually place characters in front of that green screen and use it to put it into your content.
What?
And the dance was how we were able to get the dance as like a coming soon or like we'll be back soon. And so we had the Winston dancing next to that logo because we figured out the green screen. So for all you content creators at home, that's a really nice trick if you didn't know it just yet. Atlanta Academy knows a couple tricks themselves, though.
Yep, mostly killing. It's just alone. This is kind of the trick to Atlanta Academy's current success. One-on-one, Winston is not the strongest hero in the game. By herself, Moira is not necessarily the strongest healer in the game, but together, Atlanta Academy is so much greater than the sum of their parts. And Bermuda have really yet to find that same kind of magic, right? Hawk and Gator in particular seem to just have a magic tether mentally. They always know where the other one is, and they share that knowledge with the rest of the team. So every time you have somebody from Atlanta Academy attacking you, it is never just a single Sombra. You might only see the Sombra now, but you're going to be dead before you see that Winston was right behind you, too.
Nice wall. Blocking your own team away from dying as Gator trying to aggress Atlanta Academy. You find an initial pick, and that's going to come from Kodak. And 3 members of Bermuda already below half health. They shouldn't last much longer. The defense will be there for Atlanta Academy. And the crazy thing about Atlanta Academy is I think about 2-2 roll-lock and how it might affect some teams. This team could even get better when that roll-lock comes through, and that's a scary thing to think about.
Because Sugar Free is on Brigitte, arguably one of the most difficult heroes to really pop off on. We know he's such a capable DPS player. Pharah, he is a really dangerous Pharah as well, and Atlanta Academy is simply kind of pulling the reins on their own players by keeping them in this Sombra Goats type composition when he could be lighting things up on a different hero.
That was a nice hook. Are they going to be able to finish it off? Yes, they will. As Gator unable to use that Primal Rage. Kodak couldn't save him with the Coalescence as well. As Atlanta Academy actually very low so far. They're going to be able to take out the turret, and that's going to give Atlanta Academy enough time to get on their ultimates. They need Gator to come back here soon. He is going to have enough time to get there. He also has Primal Rage, which is very effective on this objective because look at the back side of it. It's all water. Tons of potential for that Primal Rage. You throw them into the drink. The Blizzard's there, so is the EMP. The Blizzard, they're not going to be taking enough speeds away from Atlanta Academy. There it is. We're going to see that environmental kill coming in from Gator. 2 of them there as Bermuda make it onto the point. They take 1 tick. That's all Atlanta's going to give them.
2 pushes, 1 tick, though. Not the worst news in the world for Bermuda. If we use math, Mr. Numbers Guy, a couple more pushes, a couple more ticks. Bermuda also have not really used their ultimates yet, sans that Molten Core and Blizzard. So there's some options here again to frustrate Atlanta Academy, but just as we saw, winning a single fight is never the end of the story against Atlanta. You have to string together 2, 3, 4, 5 successful fights in order to find progress on the objective, which is where Bermuda tends to run into difficulties.
Coalescence is up again. It's pretty much just a regular cooldown for Kodak. Trades, though, going both ways, and Kodak just so good at finding kills with this Coalescence. Doesn't do a ton of damage, but when you combine it with the Tesla Cannon, when you combine it with micro missiles, that's enough damage to burst someone down. Atlanta Academy will take this fight once more. Bermuda, though, slowly but surely becoming a little bit more competitive, but they don't have a ton of time on the clock.
They don't have a ton of time, and they don't have really any ultimates, given that they expended their entire ultimate bank in that last push. 30 seconds left now. Are we going to see any adjustments? Perhaps Goats themselves. That means that if you get point A, you're going to be pretty well stocked for point B, just as a matter of form. But nope, Bermuda is going to continue to push in here. Orisa and Baptiste.
EMP is going to go through. 4 members of Bermuda are hacked, and Atlanta Academy will be taking this fight. Bermuda will not see the second point. Bermuda getting a little ahead of themselves as we get a nice little post. Yeah, just imagine the green screen, and you can put that anywhere you want, right? That's very pretty. As Atlanta Academy take this map, go up 2-0, now 6 maps away from the golden season. And in my opinion, that does not look good for Bermuda, because that was the map that they could have challenged on. They've been very challenging to every other team that they've seen on Assault so far. But this time around, Atlanta just too much.
Yeah, and it really didn't Kodak just use Coalescence? He just used Coalescence. He has Coalescence again, literally a cooldown, and it doesn't do a ton of damage. But when you're that consistent, how Atlanta Academy wins. And unfortunately, Bermuda not able to string together enough fights on the map type with their best chance of winning against Atlanta Academy. So Hybrid and Escort going to be a definite uphill climb for them.
Atlanta Academy, like I said, 6 total maps away from a golden season. A golden season is no map losses, which means no series losses by the time playoffs
Perfect
come around.
Sweeps every time.
Which just in general, even against lower caliber teams, to always 4-0, to be that kind of consistent, you don't see very often. We've actually never seen it in North America, and we're so very close to seeing it here potentially next week. Atlanta Academy 6 maps away. Bermuda trying to come back.